This video is brought to you by the Battle Zoo Bestiary, a new book with over 100 award-winning monsters and other resources from Paizo lead designer Mark Cypher. Sign up today at kickstarter.rollforcombat.com and join the campaign when it launches on August 31st. Hey everybody, Dave here with another Pathfinder rule reminder for you, and recently we've been looking a lot at weapon sizes and weapon reaches and what happens when a person wants to use a weapon that is a size larger than them and the need for sprites and other tiny sized PCs to have tiny sized gear. So that has naturally led to a lot of questions about, well, how do you go about resizing the equipment? And there's no hard rules for that right now, at least in Pathfinder 2nd edition. So I'm going to share with you a couple of different thoughts of possible ways you might be able to address resizing gear in your games. So first off, the first suggestion of how to handle resizing equipment is if the equipment that you want to resize is magical, thanks to the runes that are etched on it, then you can just use the already existing rune transfer system to move those runes off of the current item that has them etched and then scribe them onto another item that is the size that you want. And the second suggestion is to just hand wave it. But there are plenty of other folks who like a more realistic and gritty feel to your game, so we'll talk about some other options that go beyond just simply hand waving. And if you are interested in trying to figure out how much it would cost to take a piece of gear to a local smith or other tradesperson and have them resize it for you, again, there's no hard rules on what those costs would be. I think a general guidance might be looking at the income earned table on page 236. This is not meant to be an exact and perfect answer for what it costs to resize something. There's a lot of different things that go into this table and the calculations, but if you're just looking for a quick price to be able to offer to players, then this would be where I would recommend you look. Another suggestion that's quick and easy and was offered by a viewer in the comments recently was for sprites and their tiny weapons. Well, you know, they're inherently magical creatures, so maybe as soon as they grab a weapon or other piece of gear, it just automatically resizes for them to use it, and the second that they drop said item, it returns to its normal regular size. Quick, easy, you don't have to worry about anything, and it still fits within the narrative if you view sprites as being inherently magical like that. The only possible concern I think I might have is shenanigans that might come from when a player picks up a very large item and turns it into a tiny size item and then drops it in an area that is smaller than the item's normal size, and what happens then and what the consequences of that can be. And another suggestion might be that if you have a player who is trained in crafting and they want to manage resizing gear for them in the party, then you just say it takes 1 day of downtime per item that you want to resize, and it's going to require a crafting skill check versus a DC equal to the standard DC for whatever level that item is, and then modify it by rarity and just make the die roll. And if it's a success, then at the end of that day you have a resized item. And the last that I will offer is within Pathfinder 2nd edition, there are rules for reverse engineering an item and then rebuilding it. So if you really want to stay within the rules as written, I think if transferring the runes is not an option, then your best bet is going to be reverse engineering the item, which that involves taking the item apart and destroying it. And then when you go through the process of recrafting that item, you just craft it at whatever size you want it to be. I am going to make sure that in the description of this video, I leave links to my videos on crafting and runes and transferring runes and everything I've talked about here. And as always, if you would be so kind, leave your suggestions and your thoughts for future topics in the comments. And I want to take just a quick moment to say thank you to everybody out there who supports me in this channel. You folks are amazing. Subscribing to the channel, liking these videos, sharing the videos with your friends, subscribing to Patreon, leaving comments. I really appreciate everything you folks do. And as always, thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.